What editorial freedoms have you gained, if I may ask you, and what new constraints have emerged after you started your new venture? I would request everyone else to please switch off their while Sanket starts with his comment. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rohel. Thank you so much to all lovely friends and former colleagues that are there on this panel. Uh, what editorial independence have I gained, and what are the new constraints that have emerged for me uh, in this new digital journey? Well, let's talk about the positives first. I'm answerable to myself. I'm not answerable to anyone else. Now, I don't necessarily mean that being answerable to someone else is necessarily a wrong thing, right? You learn when you're answerable to someone else. You learn the logic of why something is happening, why something must not happen. Sometimes you may agree, sometimes you may not agree. But after having worked in many television channels and media organizations, I think with 23 odd years, one possesses the basic understanding of what is right and what is not. So, armed with that assessment, now I am answerable to myself. So that is the biggest plus as far as us at the Red Mic is concerned. I don't have to work for anyone else, which is a huge deal. I never thought that this day will come, but yet it is here. So that's a great positive. Don't have to work in aligning my ideas to someone else's all the time. You see, I may agree with you, but there are occasions where I possess basic intelligence to not agree with you. But do I have the independence to exercise my disagreement? Sometimes in newsrooms, that becomes a challenge, right? In big organizations, not just television channels, anywhere. So that is one positive. We practice our own definition of editorial independence. And for us, the mantra is saying what is right and not what is popular. You see, it's very, very important. Number one, I believe that you can't be serving news in isolation. फिर तो मैं आईने के सामने न्यूज पढ़ देता हूं ना, then it is not meant for anyone. So the idea is to make sure that your news reaches a whole load of people. So it has to be popular, but before that, a prerequisite should be that it should be right. My sole purpose cannot be popularity. And the moment that happens, then there is a problem. So that is one big, guiding definition of our editorial independence. Now let's talk about constraints. Ruhel, the biggest constraint, as you mentioned, is from the frying pan into the fire, from TRPs to algorithms. Okay, the 1.5 year journey of YouTube, I have learned that this is also a beast that pushes you into picking up a side, a certain type of audience, uh, subscribing to their confirmation bias, right? And it's very easy to fall into this trap. I could have been 10x more popular right now on my YouTube platform had I subscribed to this philosophy of algorithms. And YouTube Studio has this amazing way of trying to tell you and nod you and prod you. Less people are watching, fewer people are engaging. So it's messing with your brain. So to constantly tell yourself each day that I'm not going to give in to this. I mean, this is not why I decided to do what I'm doing. I want my editorial independence. So editorial independence cannot then become algorithm ki gulami. So that is one constraint, and we have a nice way of working around this. I would have, as I told you, Rohel, we could have been far more popular in an ecosystem, in a set of viewers. We chose not to take this path, and we chose diversity. I've seen many of my colleagues on YouTube who have chosen this path of instant popularity. We at the Red Mic don't do it, which is why we have a great variety. You will not just have political commentary, you have international affairs, stories on economy, stories on health, stories on consumer awareness. Why do we feel that Indians are not interested in being aware about consumer rights? Automobile sector, telecom sector, to my surprise, I never thought that people will be so interested. And then I realized, of course, they will be interested. Everybody dreams of a car. Everybody possesses a mobile phone. So anything related to the telecom sector directly affects these people. Now, why were we choosing to ignore all these people? They have no scope or voice on money stream media. I don't call them mainstream media anymore. They are money stream. They have tons of money. The mainstream media is digital media right now. So we have experimented, and in our own way, I would say that we are fairly successful in our assessment. So this is the constraint that we are working around. The second constraint, Rohel, is YouTube community guidelines. You see, what YouTube does is it's very limiting in your storytelling. You try telling a story about riots, you try telling a story about injustice caught on camera, you try telling something about Pahalgam, you try using some very important keywords, and YouTube is going to immediately flag it. They will declare it as not suitable for audience, will limit your reach, will limit your earning potential, will limit everything. Now, this is very limiting because we as journalists are not supposed to make cute cat videos and, uh, how popcorn is made or how to cook paneer, which is also adulterated, the most adulterated food in this country. So, what do I do? Now, this is also a constraint. So, for us, a smart workaround is that we are trying to tell our story in every possible way. See, the easiest thing to do is to not tell the story. कुछ और कर लेते हैं. But the difficult thing to do is to say it in such a way that your communication does not get lost, and at the same time we're also abiding by YouTube's community guidelines. There is a third point also, which is about constant and unnecessary fear among YouTubers, how channels are being shut down, how YouTube shuts it down, citing its guidelines, and then how there is pressure on YouTube to shut down these channels. But I'm going to deal with that separately should you choose to ask that question.
Absolutely, absolutely.